everybody, and welcome to Horror Film Lovers. Welcome back. This is a kind of a brand new segment for Indie Film Cafe, even though it's sort of been its own channel before. So I thought, well, why don't I just bring it over to Indie Film Cafe, make everybody have to subscribe to one thing only. Makes total sense. And I brought this back. So here we go. I wanted to talk to you guys about some films that I'm going to be reviewing later. I'm not sure which ones. So get ready. I'll show off my collection. And then maybe if you guys want to pick ones, if there's certain ones you want to do, I will tell you when we're not going to do it, most likely, because we might do it for something else, for another podcast or video cast or something. But let's start with my Vinegar Syndrome movies. So this is these are all my Vinegar Syndrome movies, and I'm pretty sure this is all of them. The Arrow movies, unfortunately, have I think I'm missing one or two. I'm not sure, so I'm gonna have to go look back and see which ones I might be missing and go look for them. But for the time being, here's all my Vinegar Syndrome for now. And first one is Bloodhook, which I still have not seen. I want to see this and review it, so I'm probably going to do this for either a quick review Thursday, since it's more independent, or I might do it for Horror Film Lovers. I'm thinking more, since it's more independent and stuff, this seems like a good quick review movie. Yes, we'll see. Alright, and then we did this for, I remember doing this for Horror, Blood, and Coffee. And so I watched it for the first time, and so did Samantha Marie. And it's Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Such a great movie. So we will not be doing this at all, since we've already reviewed it on a podcast. I mean, I might do a video cast of it, but I doubt it. I think I'm going to keep this, And that's Arrow. Why am I picking up Arrow movies? Sorry. Getting ahead of myself. That's an Arrow movie. Let me continue with Vinegar Syndrome. Alright, next is Cutting Class with Brad Pitt. And it also has Jill Sholin and Donovan Leitch, Roddy McDowall, and Martin Mull are the main stars of this. Jill Sholin, you might remember from Popcorn and a few other movies. She was like the stepfather and a ton of other movies. I love her. I actually interviewed her once, and so that was freaking awesome. But Cutting Class is definitely a slasher favorite of mine, so I love it. That will definitely get reviewed for Horror Film Lovers, most likely. And There's Nothing Out There. So this movie, it was directed by Rolf Kanefsky, who basically made this as a fun little indie film that he did out in, I think he lived in California at the time. But he shot this movie, filmed it, and now it's got like brand new commentary and all these other great stuff on it. If you don't have this movie, get it. This one came with a sleeve, which I think costs a little bit more to have the sleeve. And if you look, it's got reversible artwork, because you could do that, or you could do that. So, I don't know. I love this movie, and honestly, I'm going to definitely review this again. So There's Nothing Out There. Because, there's nothing out there, right? And that's actually one of the movies that, like, I think inspired Scream, they say, or, like, was stolen by Scream. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff to that. Okay, these are not in alphabetical order, by the way. Another good one, which I have not seen yet, but I've heard really good reviews of it. So Welcome Home, Brother Charles, and also has another film on it called MMA. Hold on one sec. I'm back. All right. So, Welcome Home, Brother Charles, and MMA. This is very famous for being a has a scene at the end that I will not spoil, but let's just say it says they tried to take everything, even his manhood. So take that with what you will. If you've heard of it, you probably know what is most famous for. Okay. Another one is a double feature, directed by David Dakota, and it's Murder Weapon and Deadly Embrace, both starring Linnea Quigley. And it's also got commentary with David Dakota and Linnea Quigley on both films. So if you want to hear them talk about the films, I always love hearing David Dakota commentary, because David Dakota generally has like this wealth of knowledge that he instills on the making of the film, the technical aspects, what it was like, but he also has a good time. So he does like all of it in one thing. I always love hearing his commentary track. So that is great just for that. Next one is Don't Go in the Woods. I remember I interviewed the director of this, having never even seen it, by the way. And it has commentary by the director, and commentary with the director and the lead actress and others, and then commentary with the Hysteria Continues, which is, I guess, this group that does commentary tracks for Vinegar Syndrome. There you go. Then we've got Nightmare Sisters, another David Dakota film, starring Linnea Quigley, but also stars Michelle Bauer and Brink Stevens. And Dookie Flyswatter's in this movie as well. Dookie Flyswatter's been in a ton of David Dakota movies, but also was in stuff like Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers and tons of other films. So there you go. Nightmare Sisters. And then Witch Trap, done by Kevin Tenney, who did Night of the Demons. Witch Trap is just, I don't know if this was before or after, but it stars Linnea Quigley as well. And doesn't it have commentary with her? Director Kevin Tenney. Okay, it's got commentary with director Kevin Tenney, Dan Duncan, the producer, and cinematographer Tom Jewett, and actor Hal Havens. It's got video interviews with Kevin Tenney, Linnea Quigley, the cinematographer, and the special effects guy, person supervisor, Tassilo Bauer. And it's got audio interviews with the makeup artist and the composer. So awesome. It's filled to the brim with stuff. And I think Nightmare Sisters has commentary with David Dakota and Linnea Quigley. So there you go. Forgot to mention that. Alright, so that was all of my, if you see this is all my collection of Vinegar Syndrome movies. I need more. I definitely need to get more this year. I'm hoping to double it. Have 20 by the end of the thing, so. Alright, so we just did Killer Clowns from Outer Space as one of the Arrow movies. Then The Mutilator. This is one of my favorites. This will definitely be on horror film lovers, because even though it's an independent film and everything, it is like a cult like classic. So I felt like this needs to be on this series. Then this is gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this yet. So you'll find out, because it's gonna be on either What the Fuck Friday, or it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be on What the Fuck Friday, because it could be on What the Fuck Friday or the podcast for Indie Film Cafe at some point. Society. This movie is so fucking weird. I loved it. Paul thought I would not actually enjoy this movie, because it's so fucking weird and out there. But something about this movie just freaking, I think it's gonna have to be a What the Fuck Friday, because I think if we rated this movie, I'm just gonna give it like a 1 or a 2, and stuff. So it's better to be on like What the Fuck Friday or Horror Film Lovers, but I think it's gonna end up being part of What the Fuck Friday. This is definitely a what the fuck of a film. Alright. So then this movie is a crocodile movie, directed by Tobe Hooper. Eaten Alive. That's not really a crocodile movie. Okay, I take that back. It's got a crocodile in it who just lives at this motel and stuff. But it's really about this really creepy guy who runs the motel and kills people and then feeds them to his crocodile. It's just a weird, wacky, wackadoodle movie. I wonder if it had... I don't think it had... It has audio commentary with the co-writer Marty Rustum, actors Roberta Collins, William Finley, and Kyle Richards. Kyle Richards, I think, is like a... is on one of those reality shows like Housewives or something. But she's most famous for being in the original Halloween movie, and being one of the little girl from Halloween. So I didn't know she was in this necessarily. Maybe I did. I know Robert Englund is in this, but he does not do commentary. But he has like a brief part in it. He's not like a main character. It would have been cool, I think, because that movie was made before Freddy, I think. I want to say, hold on. Was that made before Freddy or was that after? It had to be before. I want to say this was... I always want to say this is 70s. It looks like a 70s movie, but I think it's an 80. Nope, it's 76? Oh, Jesus. 1976. So this was actually made before they made Halloween. So Kyle was famous for being in Halloween, but really she was in this before then. And that's really interesting. And Robert Englund was so young in this. It was weird kind of seeing him when I first watched it. I'm definitely reviewing this for horror film lovers. Now, okay, here's another one that I'm going to tell you guys straight up. I was not a fan of this movie. I bought this movie. It was a blind buy. I watched it with my brother, and we were going, what? This is like, huh? What? Like, why is this, like, lauded and magnified as, like, a great movie and everything? And I don't get it. And I actually talked to some people who also agreed with me that this is not a movie that should be up there as that. Like, that is The Initiation. What? This movie is awful, horrible, just absolutely dreadful. The only saving grace in it is Vera Miles and Clu Gallagher, and Daphne Zuniga, who does a wonderful job. I mean, before her Spaceballs and Melrose Place fame, she did this movie, and it was awful. And the twist at the end, seriously, that just was the worst twist I've ever seen in a movie. Like, just, I would listen to the commentary, but the only commentary they seem to have for it is by the Hysteria Continues. So, not, and I don't know. When I watched I watched the interviews to try to get a glimpse into them maybe explaining something, but, like, they didn't. And I was just like, I mean, that's what commentary should be for there at that point. They should have had the director or whatever, Larry Stewart, who I think got replaced. And I think that's why it's so off and weird, is he, like, got replaced with somebody else. Or he was the one who replaced somebody else. And it was awful. But I'm probably going to review it. And I'll give it a bad review because, but I do want to rewatch this and review it. So, plan for that. Ugh. But this, coming back to, these next two movies are two of my favorites anyway. So, this is good. The first one is Robert Altman's Images. Robert Altman, fantastic director. MASH, he had also done Nashville. He had done The Player, which I can't find. I'm really upset. It's in my car somewhere. It is, The Player is just amazing. But Images, if you have not seen Images, you need to watch this movie at some point. I'm going to do a more full review of it, but you need to see this movie. It is fucking phenomenal. It's definitely going to be part of horror film lovers, as well as just talking. Like, I just want to talk about this movie. So I forgot who told me about it. I think it was Vincent Pereira told me I should buy it. Because if you're going to buy it, because I was asking for Arrow movies, and he knew a lot about them, and he said, you need to get Images. So I bought it, and I brought it home from Texas, where I got it from Texas Frightmare. And I brought it home, and I watched it with a good friend of mine who we watch movies every Sunday with, and we watched it, and we were just in awe of, like, just the visuals in that movie, the story. I mean, for a movie made in, like, the 70s, or was it 70s or 60s? I want to say it was the 70s. It's only got the 2018 thing there. I don't know. It was a remarkable movie. It definitely had that very Rosemary's Baby kind of feel to it, where you get confused, where you don't know what's going on. But it's just wonderful. You should definitely see this movie. Buy it from Arrow. If you go to Arrow and they're selling you DVD or Blu-rays, buy this Blu-ray. I believe it's got commentary with select scene commentary with Robert Altman, so you can watch that. Definitely amazing. Just watch this film. Just blew me away. And last film that I'm gonna bring up. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to watch this movie. It's something I've been kind of excited about for a while. But it's Blood Rage. Just love this movie. I watched this movie as well because I got all those movies around the same time, and I was just going through all of them, and I was watching this going, this is how you do a slasher, a fun slasher film. This is just, it's got everything you need out of a movie. It's about two twins. One of them murders somebody and then blames the other twin. So the other twin's locked up and he's been like mute. So he hasn't said anything for years to kind of, and nobody will believe him anyway. So the other guy's all sweet as pie, but the night that they find out that he might be back, the other guy starts a killing spree, so that when he comes back, they'll blame him again and everything. Because otherwise, the guy's just going to go and tell his mom that he was not the one who did it, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's crazy. And it's amazing. It's bloody. It's a blood movie. Like, it's his Blood Rage. It is definitely a great Thanksgiving movie. So it might be part of indie film cafes. Because it is an indie film. Indie film cafes, indie, podcast. So, there you go. That's what we're thinking of for Thanksgiving, around Thanksgiving time. Well, that's it for my haul, my video collection. These are things that I've gotten in the past that I want more. Like, I feel like that's not enough. I need more Arrow, and I need more Vinegar Syndrome. Like, I need that. I need more Scream Factory. I'll do my Scream Factory collection at some point. I need more everything. Full Moon. I need all my Blu-rays for Full Moon. Just everything. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And let us know what you guys think. Do you guys like that collection? Is there, which ones am I missing? Which ones would you guys recommend? If you guys would recommend certain things, let me know. So I can, I can tell you guys my thoughts on and maybe I'll pick them up and maybe I'll do a review of those. So thank you guys so much and hope you enjoy it and I'll talk to you later. Bye.